Welcome in, everybody, to Ben's Restaurant in Berlin Center, Ohio. Chris Colucci, Mrs. Armeni, and Coach Armeni. I've been waiting to do this interview for a long time. I'm sure I always have to just look at him the whole time, and I'm like, this is great. But
Yeah, I'm not sure you need me in this one, but I'll hang out.
Coach, we'll start. Normal, how we go every week. Guys played lights out last week. Put up 52 points.
Yeah.
Did very well. Talk to me how you guys played.
I think the more impressive feat there is the 0.
Yeah.
Preserving the shutout there. Kids came in focused, had a great week of practice. So dialed in exactly what you want with that first round matchup, but on to bigger and better things. It's going to take, twice the effort, twice the execution, to get the win this week. So kids are excited. So far, so good this week, but still have some important days ahead of us to be 1-0.
Mrs. Armeni, just, give everyone kind of what you do, how you put up with him every week, and just let everyone know.
So, like what I do for a living?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm an accounting teacher at Mount Union.
Okay.
He's talked a lot about our 3 kids. They definitely keep probably me the busiest. And we, head football coaches, there's a lot of hours, there's a lot of time spent away from home. That's probably the biggest, the most significant thing that impacts our family is just time. But, people sort of have a misconception of, at least of the way my husband coaches, is that he comes home and he's dad and husband. We talk a lot of football, but he's very good about, whether he's elated or frustrated about what happened on the field. He's still the same dad and the same husband, and, we are able to support each other through the season very well with good communication.
Yeah. Hey, some weeks are better than others.
Yeah,
so,
well, of course. Last week was a good week.
Now, being a head football coach is very difficult, but, you have it just as hard being the wife. You guys do a lot. I know you guys are very active with your kids. It's kind of funny. We were doing out Halloween in Canfield, and I'm driving by, and I see the Armeni household. I'm like, oh, my God, I know them. So I go over, say hi, and you guys are very involved. How important is it, and neither one of you can answer this, how important is it, you have that football time, but then you also have family time. You have kids. You have other activities that you guys need to be at. How important is it to, split up that time and go through that?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely important, and it took us a while to kind of figure out what that balance needed to be.
For sure.
What is nice now that our kids are older and they go, all 3 of them are in Western Reserve schools, is that they're involved too. So they can go to practice with him and hang out in the coach's office for a little while. They're there on Friday nights, and they're able to, celebrate him or give him a big hug when, things maybe don't go his way or don't go the team's way. So it's been easier as they got older because they're now incorporated into the football part of it too, as well as, our normal family time.
Coach, how important is having, football? This football grind can be tough. Sure, you've been very lucky. You have a very excellent, really good team this year. Week 12 of the playoffs. But then, some seasons are more tough.
Yeah.
How do you, when seasons aren't going so good, how do you, you don't want to bring that negativity home around the kids and, affect the family life. How do you, stay away from, being the good role model and keeping everything going good?
And it's not always easy. The demands of the job are a lot, and it took me a while to make my lovely wife understand that it's really a 24/7 an hour, a day job, and that you just can't shut it off at night. It's hard to do that. But I think having the kids helps a little bit that, and understanding, the role that you need to play in the house, and as a father. But I've been real honest through the interviews too, to understand that, being a coach is only one part of who we are. And I think there's lots of coaches in the Valley that, are similar. We're fathers, we're teachers, we're coaches, and I think those are the guys that you want to hire. I think those are the guys that you want leading your sons, are guys that, can play all those roles. Football is an important thing that we do, but the most important thing we do for them is teach them how to be men, and good fathers and good husbands, good community members.
Yeah.
So that trumps the wins and losses. Don't get me wrong, you want those wins
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
You want a
Of
successful
course.
program. But to me, it's all relative. If you do those things the right way, if you are prepping them the right way, if you are teaching the right behaviors, and they're becoming good men, I think the wins are a byproduct of your program doing all the right things. So, I think it's a really important thing,
Yeah.
to be, a caring, contributor in all parts of your life.
You guys have 3 very special people in your life. They live in the same household as you. Talk to me about your kids. Shine some light on them.
Me?
Sure.
So Nina, our oldest, is in 7th grade. So smart, just naturally gifted with writing and drawing, and she loves to be around animals. She rides horses, so that is sort of the out-of-school activity that she does. He's talked before about our middle daughter, Lola. So she's in 5th grade, and she is really into gymnastics, spends a lot of time at the gym, very, very dedicated. And John said in a previous week that, we go to some tournaments with her, which is really fun because we can make kind of family weekends out of that. And then Gino is 7. He just turned 7 on Halloween, and he's just such a goof. But he's into more what we sort of thought would be traditional sports. Like he talked about, I was an athlete in middle school and high school, so is he, but we played very traditional sports. And then we have this one daughter that wants to ride horses and this other daughter that wants to do gymnastics. Gino likes to do traditional sports. He loves baseball, he loves football, and he mostly loves the fact that his dad coaches him in both of those sports. So yeah, they definitely keep us busy, and our, again, support staff for him during season to cheer him up and remind him, of how much they love him, and they're all 3 just really, really good kids.
We joke all the time internally, and we'll share this with you, that my oldest and youngest are a little bit more like me, so they have a little bit more of a streak in them, a little bit maybe more difficult to deal with. And then our middle daughter, Lola, is a lot like Amanda, where they can make the best out of any situation. They can figure any problem out. They're always sweet and nice and, just easy to get along with. And the other 2, not so much sometimes. So,
Yeah, they definitely picked up different parts of our personalities, that's for sure.
How rewarding is it as a father, when you have a loss or you're not having a good week of practice, but you come home, you have a beautiful wife, 3 loving kids to come home to every day. How rewarding is that as a father?
Well, I mean, it's hard to even put that into words. So I became a head coach literally a few months after I became a father.
Right.
So, I mean, the timing couldn't have been better.
Yeah, it was good.
But
great.
all I've remembered, one of the most important things, one of my most fondest memories about being a head coach is those rough days. And it was, coming home and, holding a baby. And then they got old enough to, walk, and they would run up to the door to say, hi, Daddy, how's you, So and now my 2 oldest are a little bit too old to do that, but my son still does that. So it's a really special thing that happens when I get home. I mean, we did that last night. Getting home, late at night, from a long night of practicing and whatnot. But it's a special thing. Obviously keeps you grounded, but also, I think also puts in perspective. It's a game. It's a game that we play and that I coach. It's not life, although it mimics parts of life. It's still a game.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much. This was awesome. I loved every second of it. Big game this week, Cuyahoga Heights. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be there. I'm sure I'll see you pregame and postgame. Last home game for these seniors.
Yeah.
It'll be very special.
Very special.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Huge shout out to Ben's. They do a lot for our kids every week. This Friday is the last 5th quarter because it's our last home game. Come out and support them. They do so much. I mean, huge community shows out every week. We like to thank Ben's. Come show out to Ben's. Show your love and support. They're staying open late just for us knuckleheads. So thank you guys so much. Great interview. Good luck Friday, Coach.
Thank you.
And good luck. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.